Hey, guys, and welcome. Thanks for joining. I know you guys haven't seen my face here doing video in a minute, but I'll be back. Don't worry. Tonight I felt like I had to go live so that I could really get out all my feelings. I was trying to write them and it was becoming a book, it was becoming a lot. So I felt like, you know what? Why not go live and let's really talk about what I'm feeling, how I felt in the moment, and all that kind of good stuff. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Tamika. I am the mouth of IG at Tamika Talks and the thought leader at Life and Pumps, where I bring to you all things wellness, entertainment, travel. Pretty much, I'm a lifestyle and travel writer. I'm based in the Philadelphia area. And tonight, we are going to unpack the Oscars from a Baldie, right? Let's get it from the Baldie perspective. Tonight, I actually invited some of my breast cancer sisters to join me and really talk and share their comments about what they were feeling as they were watching it and all the comments that have been going around. And I hope they will get on and make comments. And I encourage you to make comments. If you want to come and be a part of the live video, send me a message because I'm happy to have an intelligent dialogue with whomever is wanting to have one. So first, I want to say congratulations to Will Packer. Let's just call it what it is, right? He produced an amazing show. Were there hiccups? Of course. Nothing is ever perfect, but he set out to do, something great and he did it. The hosts, they were amazing. I loved all the jokes, all the digs, everything. It was great. They fed off each other's energy. It was perfect. I've been telling everyone, if you have not seen Coda, please figure out how you can stream it, go see it in a movie or whatever. It was an amazing movie. Summer of Soul, shout out to Questlove. I absolutely loved it. I was vibing on that documentary, and I'm hoping that you are home right now penning documentary number 2 and documentary number 3 because I know you have so much more to share behind that. You haven't seen that, definitely check it out. And I also encourage you, if you have not seen the speech that he gave at the Oscars, please find it, watch it. It was so heartwarming to see it. Now, let's talk about basically where I was, right? So last night I attended the 9th annual Oscars screening party for the Philadelphia Film Society. So I got all dialed up in my beautiful glittery dress, headed downtown Philly, that is, and we watched the Oscars. The big screen, we had all kinds of great food, all kinds of great drinks. It was a great event. They actually gave us a ballot where we could, here's a ballot, where we could kind of fill out who we thought was going to win and all that kind of stuff, right? So we're vibing, we're excited. There are not a lot of Black people in this event. I think there may have been about 4-5 of us total, but I don't know. I didn't really count. So we're vibing, we're watching the event, everyone is laughing, we're talking, the whole nine, and then this event happens. So of course, it changed the energy in the room. Much like I know it changed the energy in the room of the Oscars, because we all saw it, right? As that glitch happened where they were trying to bleep it out so that we wouldn't really see, we all kind of was like, wait, what? And then I read his lips and I was like, oh, this is serious. Let me see. And of course, like most of you, I went to Black Twitter because I wanted to know what was happening. Now, in other countries, what he stated and what happened did not get bleeped out. So that's how we all know what actually happened. Basically, I don't need to tell you the story because you guys were there, you saw it, right? So as I watched this unfolding on Twitter, a few women had said to me, hey, I see you guys are on your phone. Do you know what really happened? So I explained what I saw, and I was like, you guys can go and check it out. I don't want to be the gatekeeper of all the details and all that. If you really want to know, go look and find out. But for me and my friend, it definitely changed the energy of the room for us. Like we're there and we're kind of like, we can't even enjoy the Oscars anymore. Now, if you guys know and have been following me for a while, I am a movie buff. I go to all the screenings that I can get to. I watch as much stuff as I can. I love streaming, all of that. So that is my thing. Movies are my thing. So me being at an Oscar party was of no surprise to anybody, but just kind of what was happening in the ambiance was actually a lot for me. And at that point, I had this feeling of disappointment. Not just disappointment because let's face it, Will Smith is a superstar, right? He is a huge celebrity. I am so proud of him. And I love what he's doing. I went to his tour. I read his book. I listened to it on audio. And for me, the amount of growth that he talked about, not only at the show on tour in Philadelphia, which was the first start. And in his book, just the growth, how he felt as a kid, just some things he was unpacking. One of the things that stood out to me last night when he hit Chris Rock was he talked about there were times when his dad had abused his mother and he didn't do anything. And he felt that he should have done something. So I started thinking, like, well, is that the reason that he got up and felt like he needed to defend Jada? So let's talk about that and let's unpack that. So put a pin in that part, right? So for me, here's what I saw, right? Chris Rock said this joke. Okay, so before we go to that part, let's talk about this. We all know in 2016 that Chris Rock made some jokes about Jada. He's a comedian. It's what they do, right? They go back and forth. I mean, you guys, I'm sure, are seeing the things that are happening. Like, it's all happening over the internet. Comedians are doing this back and forth to one another, right? And so in 2016, apparently he made a comment and said about, them boycotting the Oscars, that hashtag that was out, Oscars so white. He said, Jada boycotting the Oscars, I'm paraphrasing here, it's pretty much like me boycotting Rihanna panties. I wasn't invited, right? So basically he was saying, you boycotting, it don't matter, you wasn't invited. We were all angry because we felt like Will Smith should have been there and gotten nominated, right? So let's fast forward to now we're at 2022, right? We have the Oscars who's hosted by a Black man, right? Let's put that in perspective, people, a Black man. Well, Packer, he's done his thing. We even have 2 Black hosts, right? They're doing their thing. Chris Rock makes this joke, right? He says, oh, G.I. Jane 2 coming out. Jada, first he says, Jada, I love you. Can't wait for G.I. Jane 2 to come out, right? So a lot of people, this went over their head because for some people, they had no idea what G.I. Jane was. A lot of people don't understand the symbolism behind Demi Moore in this movie. But I do, and let me tell you why I understood it. It's one of my favorite movies, surprisingly. And part of the reason why it's my favorite movie is because in 2013, when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I realized that I needed to do what I could control, and that was my hair. So I remember the scene where Demi Moore is in the bathroom shaving her head, right? And so for me, that was a sign of strength. Like, you know what? I am not going to let this beat me. I'm going to do what I need to do. So fast forward to Jada, I've been at plenty of events where she was and some other things that we've done. And she talked about, just how she was dealing with alopecia. You guys know Jada for years. She's always rocked a shortcut. Very nice looking shortcut, by the way, as well, right? So for a lot of people to see her with her hair shaven was not really a big deal because, first of all, it looks amazing on her, right? But we all know that for some women, hair is a big thing. And I don't discount that. In the breast cancer world, people often say it's only hair. But if that's what you find comfort in, it's your hair. And you have every right to feel how you feel. But for me, with G.I. Jane, what it said in that movie, and if you have not seen the movie, please go and watch it. You see her as the men are beating her down because they did not want her to be a Navy SEALs, right? The woman that she thought was in her corner, she found out was not in her corner. And so basically she was determined, you know what, I'm going to beat this. It doesn't matter. And I think as a breast cancer survivor, that's where I came from. I remember that day when I did the first shave on my head and I was in the mirror and I was like, I got this. You know what? This a war, we're going for battle. I'm in it. So when he said that, that's what came to mind. And what I would have loved to have happened in that moment is for him, if he felt like he needed to go on the stage, which was whatever, to say, you know what? You're right. My wife is like G.I. Jane too. I look up to her for her strength. I respect her for what she has done and how she is encouraging women around the world who are dealing with alopecia to rock their bald head. To me, it was not a bad comment. Like, I didn't take it that way. I laughed at it and was like, yeah, I love this. I love this. But a lot of you took it the wrong way. And then you said that you felt like Jada took it the wrong way. I watched her facial expression and I felt like her expression was, Chris, I don't rock with you. Leave me alone. That's the expression I got. Not like, oh, this joke is dumb. And for a lot of people, it was kind of stupid. But for me, the symbolism behind it was like, okay, yes. So I didn't feel like she was hurt or any of that. And it's just my interpretation because maybe she said to Will, in that 2 second, he hurt my feelings. I don't know. But I feel like he robbed so much from her at that moment, right? I've seen the videos of her where she shaved her head and she talked about, dealing with alopecia. And if you are watching, if you watch the videos that she did leading up to the Oscars, she talks about self-love and how, she is finding peace with herself and loving herself. That would have been an amazing moment for Will to have allowed her to shine. Like, if she felt like something needed to be said, then let her say it. All these people on here like, yes, my husband better defend me like that. I need y'all to know my husband is currently overseas right now, and I called him, and it was probably like 2, 3 o'clock. I don't even know what time in the morning it was. And I was like, don't you ever, ever, ever do something like that again. He had no idea what I was talking about because, of course, he wasn't watching. But I don't need to be defended that way. And for me, it was not about him defending her. It was about his ego. I feel like he was trying to get out all the stuff in the past that he never unpacked. Unfortunately, that was not the time, right? And then here's who I also want to give a shout out to, right? Chris Rock, for real, because let's just face it. I don't know about y'all, and everybody like, yeah, he bought the West Philly. He really ain't bring the West Philly, first of all, because I don't know too many men who smack other men, but that's just me. What would have happened had Chris Rock hit him back? Because I tell all y'all, if y'all know me, I choose violence. I'm not proud of it. But there are times in my life that I choose violence, right? And I can say at 90% certainty that I would have hit him back. Then what would have happened, right? There would have been 2 black men on TV fighting, right? Is that the look that we want? Will Smith has so many people looking up to him right now. Whether that's what he wants, it's what he's getting, right? He has done really great things. And just in a matter of seconds, all that goes away. And I know a lot of you are like, oh, it's not going to mess up his career. If you Google Will Smith, all you see right now is the smack. I would not want to be known for the person on TV who smacked another person. I just don't want to be known for that. I want to be known for the person who has been uplifting, powerful, who is encouraging, because that's who he was prior to. And if you guys haven't been paying attention, you really missed out on the great things that Will Smith has done. If you haven't seen him on the Discovery Channel, like, it is great, just the opportunities and the doors that have been opened for him. What are people going to do now? Yes, they gave him a standing ovation after he stood up and he apologized to not Chris Rock, but to everybody else, not Will Packer. As he apologized and he cried and all of that. And I think a lot of people felt that anger. I don't necessarily know that I felt like he was really apologizing or sincere. I think it was in the moment he was like, oh my God, this is what I have to do. Because we all know, then he threw Denzel in there. And I don't think when Denzel said that to him, he was saying, good job. Because I can't imagine Denzel ever coming out of character and doing something along those lines, right? So then the other thing we just have to think about is, people are talking about now something is going on with his mental health. Nobody knows. It really very well could be. They have dealt with a lot. They are a public couple. They share a lot. They are constantly, on the front page. And I think that's what they like, right? Isn't that what keeps them, in the know and making money and people wanting to connect with them? That's what they want. So I feel like if you were going to be the public figure and people are going to say things, we got to find a better way to handle it. Now, everyone keeps saying, but you don't understand. You don't understand. You've never dealt with that. Well, guess what? I didn't get talked about on live TV because I'm not necessarily on live TV that way. But when I had no hair, not a crop cut, no hair, there were a lot of people who said things to me, things that really could have been hurtful. But because of where I was in my place, I was like, whatever. Or I'll be like, your mama. It didn't warrant me smacking anybody, and even sometimes when I do my lives, people are like, why you don't have any hair? And I say, oh, you want to know? Let me tell you. Here's why I don't have any hair. Because oftentimes people don't know. You don't know if you don't ask. But I never felt like, oh my God, I'm so offended, I need to smack you or anything to that effect. So listen, so we have Kimberly is saying, yes, the tears was because he knew he was wrong. I absolutely agree. And Max is saying she's so over him and her. Absolutely. Here's the thing, guys. I am a Will Smith fan. Like, I love just what he's done from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air to where he is now. And I'm telling you guys, I left his tour and listened to the audio book, and I had a total new appreciation for him. Like, in the mornings, I would watch his Instagram lives because I loved how powerful and moving the message was. What I saw yesterday left me in like, I was so disappointed. I really was. And some people are like, well, you don't even know him personally. It's not even about me knowing him personally, even though we did go to the same high school. Big up Overbrook. Yay, yay, yay. It's not even about that. It is about what he represents, right? He represents the possibilities. He showed us that doesn't matter where you come from. Here's what you can become. Now let's go to West Philly, right? You guys have been watching the news. Philly is a hot spot. We have children, and I'm calling them children because they're like 12, 13, 14, 15, walking around with guns, just shooting people for no reason. No reason, right? So now, what was the message that was sent to them? They're like, oh, well, Will Smith smacking people because they said whatever. So I'm justified when I hit somebody or I shoot somebody. As a star, a celebrity, we have a responsibility. And I think he let us down. So I did see prior to coming on here that Chris Rock had issued a statement basically apologizing to Jada, right? And to Will, because that wasn't his intent. He's a comedian. They do things to get people to laugh, right? And I think if it would have been somewhere else where the intent was not to make people laugh, then maybe I would feel a little different. But most of the people up there were telling jokes with the intent to get people in the know and laughing and all of that, right? And so I know, well, that there have been women who have been dealt with or given, and people have said comments about them, Black women specifically, that were bad, right? So I'm not saying, so for me, this is different. The comment that was made about Venus, that was wrong. It was absolutely wrong, right? What just happened when I watched the confirmation hearings? Ignorant, utterly disgusted, completely wrong. And her husband, he defended her how he could, right? For me to see that, I had to separate the two because I don't think that's what he did. I think he defended his honor because of all the things that he has dealt with, and is still unpacking about what has transitioned just over their marriage. And I feel like he's fighting for Jada to love him how he wants to be loved, right? And I don't know that smack did it. All right, let's see what the comments said. Tanya is saying, had the host been Caucasian, would Will have smacked the host? A lot of people are saying that. So I don't really know. Like, I feel like we can't say, and people are like, would he have done it if it would have been a bigger guy? I don't know. Quite frankly, listen, I give mad props to Chris Rock because I literally was like, oh, this has to be staged. He had his hands behind his back the whole time. He smacked him, and then he kind of was like, whoa. Okay, he made some comments, he said some jokes, and he went on about his job. That's what professionals do. We take a blow and we handle whatever we need to handle behind the scenes. All right, Michelle is saying there was a post on Facebook by Brittany Jordan, and this is what she said. As a woman, I feel Jada turned the switch on Will last night. As you see, Will is laughing and bright, and her face is just pure annoyance. I do understand she lost half her hair due to a condition and it is a sensitive topic. However, once the camera was off of them, I feel she scorned Will for laughing and may have insulted him. She already has this man in a sensitive space because of her entanglement and saying how she is. Listen, I feel the exact same way. I do. I absolutely do. And I get it. Like, sometimes you're laughing in a joke and, because he continued on, maybe he didn't hear it at first and then he stopped and was like, wait, what? So let's just say maybe that is what he said, right? But did that warrant what actually happened? And so many of you who are saying, oh, my husband better defend me that way. I just hope the other person that he hits or whatever is not brandishing a gun, because we all know people do dumb stuff, right? And right now, people are trigger happy. So I hope, my prayer is that if your husband does react that way, or your significant other reacts that way, and you've encouraged it, my hope is that the person on the other end does not bring it back bigger, because we just don't know what's going to happen. All right. And so Kimberly is saying, absolutely, whether he wants to be a role model or not, he must consider his behavior and the impact to our young people. Absolutely. Because that was the first thing that came to my mind. Overbrook itself, right? The kids, they know about him, and there's pictures and things around him about the school, but the school is struggling. The school is struggling. We have our teachers in school trying to stop these kids from fighting. Teachers are getting hurt. I'm telling you, all this I saw, and then I really was surprised at some of the comments, especially some of the people who were like, oh yeah, my husband would do this come hell or high water, or I would expect my husband to do this, and I realized that for some people, they're dealing with something different, right? Maybe something that is happening in your marriage, or maybe that maybe you didn't feel like your husband dealt with. I don't know. But I told my husband, please, by no means do I need you out in the street smacking somebody because he insulted my hair, right? And can my hair grow back? I don't know, because I haven't tried, because that's just me, whatever. But yes, alopecia is serious. There are a few people that I know with alopecia. A few of them had DM'd me and they were like, girl, Jada tripping. It's not that deep. And especially because I don't know if you've guys seen the video, but there was a video of her shaving her hair. She has been talking about self-love, and she has embraced, like, this is what I have to deal with it. Me crying about it and being angry and all this is not going to do anything. I feel like she's already unpacked the alopecia. She held on for years, like hiding it, trying to like comb her hair one way. I was at an event and this is what she said. Her hair looked cute, right? Her hair always has looked pretty to me. She had the little short pixie cut, and she says, y'all know I tried to comb my hair this way or do my hair this way because I have alopecia and I was trying to cover it up. And she says, at some point, I realized I'm just going to have to let it go. And a few of us were like, let it go. Who cares? I feel like we are in this era where we can do whatever we want to do with our hair. Like, if we don't want to have any, we don't have to have any. We want some, we can buy some. So for me, I don't want it to be that he was defending her. I'm sorry, y'all. I just don't see it that way. I feel like he robbed her of an opportunity to show other women dealing with alopecia, bam, look at what's happening, right? He definitely robbed her of that. And if she felt like she needed to comment, she could have gone up there and said it. Or he could have gone up there and taken the mic, which is really what I think Chris Rock thought he was going to do. Come up and say something, not necessarily hit him. But he could have gone up there, and imagine what we would be saying today if he would have said, yup, my wife should be the next G.I. Jane too, because of her strength and endurance in dealing with this alopecia. Every day she encourages other women to self-love and embrace themselves. Imagine, like, what would we be talking about, right? You know what we'd be talking about right now? All the amazing pics from the Oscars. I swear to you all, only reason I know what Questlove said was because as we were leaving, I was listening because I was like, oh my God, I want to celebrate this moment with him. But I was still distracted because I was still trying to read and figure out what happened. So Questlove, once again, congratulations. West Philly, go support him, show him some love. And if you haven't seen the documentary, see it. Let's see. Max, okay, wait. Tanya is saying, if the incident would have been on BET Awards, would this issue have made CNN like the Oscars did? So yeah, it would have. And part of the reason that I think it would have is because of, look who we're talking about, Will Smith. Everybody loves Will Smith, like everybody. So the smack was so out of character for him, right? And I think that is really why people have been talking about it. And so Max is saying that she has the same condition, and at her weakest, her husband shaved his hair. Absolutely. Like, that is amazing. Like, that I absolutely love, and I'm not surprised that happened. So Michelle is saying that I feel like he could have waited to approach Chris after the stage or even after the Oscars. They told jokes all night, especially one regarding the open marriage. Do you think if Wanda would have made the joke, the results would have been the same? That's an interesting question. I really don't know. So let me say this. I don't think Will Smith would have hit a woman. So it definitely would have been the same. And I have to wonder if the blow would have been the same, right? How would he have felt? Like, did he feel like he need to defend her? And, everyone is saying, he didn't smack the young boy when he was talking about the entanglement. He didn't deal with it when she said she was unhappy with her marriage. It doesn't matter what he didn't do at that point, but I feel like everything was a culmination. And I think that he felt like, well, this might be my time to shine. I'm not saying it was okay, because I personally don't. And I'm still really disheartened by it all, even though I know he's now issued another apology, or kind of accepted the apology, I guess, that Chris Rock had put out, but it's not good. Let's see. So Sharon is saying she don't see it that way at all. What don't you see that way? The comments come after I'm talking, and I'm talking so fast. So let me know what you don't see. Kimberly is saying, I like the idea you suggested that Will go to the stage and elevate his wife. Absolutely. Like that would have been an amazing, amazing moment, right? Because he's already up for best leading actor, right? So he's already that, his name is on there and everyone is saying he's gonna win because let's be clear, he did a great job in King Richard, right? So he had the opportunity to elevate even more in that instance, because what a lot of people don't know is Anjane, I hope I'm saying her name right. His wife that was in King Richard, he actually paid her a lot of money. Well, I guess actors get paid a lot of money, but he probably paid her. Well, no, he did. He's paid her the most money that she's ever made acting, right? And she talked about how she appreciated him because, he stood in the gap for her. And when she told him, how she'd been dealt with and treated in Hollywood, he stood up for her. He was like, oh, really? Well, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. And it wasn't a public thing because he was like, I'm not doing this because I need accolades. I'm doing this because of who I am, right? And she's talked about it. Like if you didn't see her on the Tamron Hall show, Google it, look it up. She talks about all of this and how he was so nurturing to her. So then for this to happen, I don't know. And you see all the people as they're watching it, right? They're looking around and people are stunned. Like, what? And that's when I knew that, oh my God, this was real. Of course, Twitter was saying it. But also you see them when they fade back in and people are kind of like, this is weird. And then for him in his speech to include Richard Williams and kind of how he defended his family and all that, I don't think he should have done it that way. And I know that he apologized to them, and I hope that, they've all had the time to unpack it and, are okay with it. But it was a lot. Like, I was like, why are you including King Richard, Richard Williams in what you did that is wrong and is wrong, and to try to use it as an excuse, right? Like he used Denzel Washington as an excuse. Let's see. Kimberly is also saying, Will would have received even more accolades if he had not. Absolutely. I'm telling you, like the conversation today would be totally different, right? Totally different because it's like, I'm not selfish. In this room where a lot of people know chances are I'm going to win this award. I'm here being honored, but I also am paying homage to my mate, right? Think about how some of the celebrities, and Denzel Washington comes to mind all the time because he always speaks high praise of his wife, right? So I feel like in that moment, that's what Denzel would have done. And so for you to be like, don't let the devil come steal, whatever. Yeah, no, I don't think it was about Chris Rock. He was basically telling him, dude, all that stuff that's been going on, you got to unpack that later. Let's see. Sharon is saying, I see it exactly the way you're explaining it. I lost respect for Will last night. Yeah, I mean, y'all don't understand. Like, I was really hurt. Like, he was like my brother or my cousin or something. And he not. Like, I've seen him around and, we went to the same high school and all that. But literally, I've been telling so many people who have been struggling with things to listen to him in the morning, right? And I get DMs because I talk to women all the time about breast cancer, hair loss, how do you deal with it? Because people are like, well, how do you feel with your head bald? I was like, it doesn't bother me at all. And it doesn't, people make comments and I've dealt with it. And I tell them, kind of where I come from, this place of strength. And that's why that G.I. Jane 2 comment was perfect for me because I was like, yes, she exudes strength, resilience. That's how you got to be when you don't live up to what the public thinks you are. So yeah, guys. That's how I feel. Surprised that no one else kind of drew the same G.I. Jane 2 references in, and maybe it's because I'm older than y'all, but y'all should go watch the movie if you haven't. Thanks for joining me. Tea Talk will be back. Not this Thursday, next Thursday. Topics will be dropping soon. I'm not going to talk about this anymore. I'm going to sleep on it and I'm going to pray about it, and I'm just going to hope that everything is good in the morning, and maybe Jada will come up with a statement. What I do hope is that she don't take this to Red Table Talk and invite Chris Rock and they try to make this a real thing. Please, let's don't do that. You issue your statement and say how you felt, and let's deal with it. And let's move on. And peace, love, and happiness, because we need to end all this senseless crime and all of that. So if you're in Philadelphia and you're watching this and you know a young person, please encourage them to do the right thing. All right, guys, have a great night. My dinner is ready. Talk to you later. Bye.